Or no, it's Saturday. What am I talking about? Duh. We're out running some errands, and normally I'd be at home doing this coffee live feed, but um, I'm just kind of chillaxing. Probably work on some stuff later. Man, I got a lot of change in here. Anyways, see if anybody comes in here. See if notifications go out. There they are. Alright, so let's open this up. So, I hope everybody caught the live feed from last night with Sterling. I highly suggest going to his channel. Take these glasses off. So we got our coffee. It's got like a little smiley face. And earn free drinks with our app. Like, because that's what my phone needs is another app, right? But like, it's got like a little sticker. I don't know if you guys can see that. Probably not. Um, a little sticker there. Yeah, there you go. Little sticker. And the trolls that come in will be like, we don't care about your coffee. Good. 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 And I got a blister. Isn't that gross? I burned myself, Fire Bob. I burned myself. So, sitting here in good old downtown Springfield, Missouri, and looking at. Okay. So check this out. I got some meds, with for the pet, right, for the dog, and what's interesting. So we're gonna talk about health stuff. I don't know if this will stay up like that or not. I need a like a better phone now. Does this work? Did that work? All right, that'll work. Do you want to be this close to me? Probably not. Um, Bob, how you doing, man? Shave the beard. Here we go again. That's a good way to get blocked on my channel. Why should I shave the beard? Tell me why my beard offends you. Um, why does my facial hair have that much importance that you have to express your opinion of why? Like, I don't understand that. I don't know, I was joking. Okay. It I get it. People are hung up. Like, here's the deal, man. Here's the deal. Okay. People get hung up on. People have gotten hung up on my appearance before. It's not like I'm some gruesome, I got like, scars on my face or whatever. And I don't like this spot here. Let's go back to this one. I know I'm ugly, so I don't need you guys that close to me. And I was talking to my daughter yesterday, and we were talking about like 40 years ago, 30, 40 years ago, it was tough to get a job here in Springfield if you had long hair. I've had long hair since high school. Like, my senior year of high school is when I started growing my hair out. Summer before senior. And there's only one job that I actually trimmed my hair for. And you know what? It was a crappy restaurant job that didn't pay anything. They ended up firing me anyways. Now, I don't have the smarts to go up any kind of corporate ladder. And now I understand, I'm not the person you're going to bring to a board meeting with big, rich, CEOs and that kind of thing. But First Amendment. But I'm in a position where I've been kind of the outcast and a freak in the parties anyways, so I really don't care what people think. So, but you love me on. So I got the trolls in here, so that's good. You know what's funny about that is there's literally 4 billion videos on YouTube. Like you can Google that, look it up. And I love the blessing that you guys have picked mine out of 4 billion videos to give your attention to. So hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, and and go play the lottery, because I've won in a 4 billion chance that you're here. That's pretty cool. So thank you, YouTube. Thank you. I will give my speech later. So I just subscribed. Thank you, First Amendment. I talk about the Second Amendment a little bit. So the Second Amendment's just as important, if not more important, than the First. So, but thank you for choosing me out of 4 billion. I'm sure the YouTube Shorts feed it's full of like these hot chicks dancing, doing stupid things, and it's got like, people doing extraordinary stunts or something ridiculous or something gruesome. Some of you like never graduated from rotten.com, and um and you just, because TikTok's, evil, so I'll do the alternative. I'll do YouTube Shorts, which is just as bad. But yet here I am in the Shorts feed because I'm doing the vertical thing, because no one wants to see the wide view of my 20-year-old pickup truck. So, Rotten was the best. Man, one time the band played. Yes, I was in a death metal band, by the way. We played a gig with this one guy, this one band, and I can't remember the name of the band. And the singer was obsessed with rotten.com. Like we were all sitting there chatting before the show, and he's like, "Oh, rotten.com, man, they showed this, and rotten.com, they showed this, and they showed this, and oh man, rotten.com." I mean, he had to have said the words rotten.com like 52 and a half times, right? And so I checked out the website, and nowadays that's nothing, right? That kind of stuff is nothing. Like, and that's a shame, because we've been desensitized. We've seen the gruesome things, but humans have always been like that. I mean, look at World War I and World War II footage. Look at all the massacres that have happened. Look at that massacres that are still happening today in Africa. People are just brutal creatures, and so what are you gonna do, right? So, but yeah, First Amendment. So, but anyways, I just got back from the vet, right? Because I needed a checkup. um, basically, we're in a world where let me see if I can find this article here, because those of you who don't know what my channel is about, we talk about gun holsters, we talk about knives, but we also talk about health, right? I'm 50 some odd days into the carnivore diet for the second time. 50% pets. 50% of pets overweight. I know you guys are like, again, 4 billion videos, and you're watching me scroll on Google, right? All right, yes, over 50% of the pets in the United States are overweight or obese. Okay? A pet is considered overweight if they are 10 to 20% heavier than their ideal weight, and obese if they are more than 20% heavier. Okay? Obesity can lead to a number of health problems, which can shorten a pet's life and reduce their quality of life. However, many of these issues can be addressed through proper weight management. Some ways to help your pet maintain a healthy weight include take your dog for walks or throw a ball or frisbee for them. Now, I don't know about you, but every time I've thrown a frisbee for my dog, he just looks at me like, what's wrong with you? Okay. Cats can get exercise by chasing a laser pointer or a toy mouse, which we're good at exercising our cat. Diet. Work with a veterinarian to establish a proper diet for your pet. They can recommend a therapeutic diet that is designed to meet your pet's nutritional needs. Now, think about that for a minute. Animals have lived longer than humans, right? You don't see a pack of wolves in the wild and go, man, if only they had a vet to tell them what they need to do, right? No, wolves, you don't see overweight wolves, right? You don't see overweight feral animals. You don't see overweight animals in the animal kingdom unless they're grass eaters, unless they're grain eaters, right? You know, elephants and cattle and, you know, but our cattle are pumped full of grains and soy and all that stuff to, you know, make them fatter quicker, just like the chickens, right? And so you have to look at what they're eating. What are animals eating? You know, when I was a kid, they used to go, "Hey, don't give the dog your food off your plate because it's bad for him. The human food is bad for the animals." And I thought about that. But if you look at I challenge you guys, go look at the ingredient list to the most generic dog food, like that Old Roy from Walmart or whatever. And then, but also look at the dog treats or the cat treats. Look at the stuff that they put in there, like the dextrin and maltodextrin and the caramel coloring and all that. You're going to have trouble differentiating, I'm using big words here, between what's a human snack food and what's an animal snack food. So the proper diet for an animal is what they're designed to eat, right? So it's not a surprise that 50% of animals that are domesticated in the country are overweight. 50%. Now humans, we're actually like getting worse than that. We're like, I want to say 65% in some places. I don't know. That's a made up number. What percentage of Americans are overweight? 39.6 adults in the United States are obese, while 31% are overweight, and 7.7 are severely obese. Children, 22% of adolescents between 12 and 19, 20% of children's ages 6 and 11, and 12.7% of children of ages 2 to 5 are obese. Think about that for a minute. If half of our animals are obese, 20% of our kids are obese, and 40% of adults are obese, why is that? Now, our dog has a heart condition, and he's probably overweight for his frame, but we feed him normally. You know, now we have to buy this special, you know, $100 a bag, you know, dog food because it's nutritionally, scientifically formulated to help whatever ailment he has. How convenient is that? You go in these vet offices and there's science diet, right? There's science diet because they can do better than God. And so they've got a cat food or a dog food for any ailment, right? So there you go. All right, let's see here. So let me go over some comments here. Wow, you guys have been commenting. Bob, goatee. Lance, I used to have a goatee. Yeah, it looked Santa Claus. Yeah, that's original. How long did it take? I'm at, I want to say 5 years on this, I think. Maybe maybe 6. I don't know. I've lost track. Kaden says, nice beard. Sarah says, you're not ugly. I like your really long beard. Well, thank you. Let's see. Assumption. Lance, how's that carnivore diet treating you? Dude, I'm on fire, man. I love it. We are, how far are we into this? I think we're at 50 days now, and I'm shooting for 90, but I've been like 99% good, and the 1% has been just a few nibbles of green beans or a little bit of broccoli or an avocado. That's it. That's all I've done. Oh, and some sauerkraut with probiotics, like some all natural. That's it. And I dig it. Last night I cooked bratwurst for the family, and I added some burgers for me. They're all natural bratwurst, so they didn't have a whole bunch of crap in them. I don't do processed meat. I'm not doing bologna. I'm not doing lunch meat. I'm not doing ham. Lunch meat is kind of a weird thing, right? And the first time I went on the carnivore diet, that was kind of, I did that. I did a lot of processed meat, so I wasn't getting rid of the dextrin or the dextrose or the maltodextrin or the caramel coloring from the roast beef. I wasn't getting rid of any of that. The natural flavors, artificial flavors, and this time it's just been clean, straight from the source, pretty much beef or chicken and fish. I think the closest processed thing I've had, except for bratwurst, is probably canned wild caught salmon or canned sardines. So, Bowl of Woods, man, check out the hat I'm wearing. Just for you, my friend. So yes, the carnivore thing is going well, Lance. Animals can survive on roadkill. All of this nonsense about your pets. This is true. This is true. I have a Ruger 357 SP 101 with the leather holster with the snap latch over firing pin. Any brand recommendation styles for faster access? Thanks. I'll give you the brand. Here, I'll check this out. I got to do this carefully. I would look into these guys. On Point Holsters. YouTube, this is empty. So On Point Holsters. They have a pretty good selection. They're Kydex. And it will be way better than a leather with a strap, because the thing is, especially if you open carry, which I don't recommend, but people will come up behind you and they'll steal. If it doesn't have good retention, you're playing with fire. You're thinking about it. If you're carrying a Glock or whatever, that's a $500, $600, $700 piece that you're carrying around, and you don't want it to be easily stolen and used against you. So. Buck Brown says, way to go on the diet. Thank you. Hell, Bowl of Woods, what's up, man? So we got our coffee with the smiley guy, like, oh, it's cozy, because, comfort makes you weak, right? And so that's a weak smiley thing. So I make coffee at the house, but all the kids drank it. So I helped a little bit too. But anyways, I just, like I said, I challenge you to go to either, like the pet food section, and look at the canned food and look at the treats. And then compare that to some of the ingredients that we have for our own snacks, our own canned stuff. And you're going to see it's not much different. Not much at all. So You ever notice that Spam kind of tastes like, or not tastes like, smells like dog food? Like they have very similar smells. Um, why is that? Because you're putting the same crap in it. You know, you're basically processed protein is what you're eating with mechanical meat, right? Preparing to head out for a wedding 80 miles away. We are her godparents. Well, good deal, Boulder Woods. Let me do something here, man. Oh, I can't do it off this. Let me try this. There you go. And then Chief Freight Hauler, I'm going to give you this as well. I need more moderators. And Buck Brown, I'm going to give you one too, because I trust you. There. I just made you guys some moderators. We need more blue wrenches in here. So, there you go. I think you were before, but I think you've changed channels or something. That's weird. I have not done the cleaning job on this YouTube channel with all the people I've blocked or whatever, but the big one I've actually went through and I basically cleaned the slate with most of it. So, yeah, you're welcome, Chief Rayaler. You guys deserve it. You moderate the 9 people are in here. I trust you guys. So, but anyways, it's fairly nice. A cold front I think went through. It hasn't really dropped the temperature too much. But it's like cloudy and dreary. The wife and I are going to Lowe's later. And I'll have to contain myself. Oh, you guys want to see? So let's talk about knives for a second. So this is one of the best, like, Craftsman, right? This was like literally $10. And this thing is sharp as heck. And it's got a button lock. So in order for me to close it, I have to pull the button. Actually, no, you have to hold the button to open it, but then it's a liner lock. So you just close it like that. And then, dude, I got this cheapo cold steel. It's not really a cold steel. I paid literally $2 for this thing. $2. And this thing is also sharp as hell and big too. So the lock is pretty cool. It's like a pretty beefy liner lock, but this plastic would probably break in some kind of dire situation. You know that sure love them on a Marth? Yeah, I got to see them up in Kansas City. Not too long ago, several years ago, I think. And they were one of the few. Actually, it's longer than that because it was before COVID and I was still pretty heavy set. So this is a 4X shirt. And I bought 2 of their shirts because they were the only band that had 4X. Like a lot of metal bands don't realize that 40% of adults are overweight and obese. So you got to have the bigger size shirts. And, and I like wearing my shirts big for concealment purposes because I'm not an open carry kind of person. So I met the singer in San Antonio. They played with Arch Enemy, drove 7 hours seeing them. Wow, that's a lot. The furthest I've driven, well, I can't say that. Let's say the furthest I've driven, basically we either go to St. Louis or Kansas City or Tulsa. However, I did fly and drive 600 miles to go to the Milwaukee Metal Fest. I didn't go this year, but back in the day, like in the late 90s, in the early 2000s, we went. We went 3 years in a row. Went once in 98, once in 99, and then once for our honeymoon when my wife and I got married. So but I don't believe they played. I saw a lot of really great bands. But yeah, Monomarth is awesome. Ouch, I didn't see that coming. I appreciate your confidence. It only took about 5 years for me to get rinsed. Who's my favorite rapper? Let's see. I don't listen to rap that much, but if I had to pick one, probably Ice-T when he's doing the body count stuff. That's it. I'm not a rap guru. What platform did you sell your truck off of? Missed the call from Truck Paper, so my equipment won't be on there till Tuesday. Facebook. Facebook Marketplace. More likely, you've got a lot of these shop owners out of Mexico that are investing in a lot of these trucks. They're snagging all of them because Mexico is becoming one of the biggest places that we're getting imports from. A lot of factories down there, so they're trying to keep up with the demand of trucks that they need down there. And so that's your best bet. I think you should talk to me about your trailer. But Facebook Marketplace, I would put that up. And don't give your phone number out on Messenger. Don't do that. Because they will use that to hack into your system. So I suggest getting the Google Voice number and using that instead. Quick hit, good morning. My favorite rapper is the one Reese's Cups come in. Oh, man. Awesome. I'll be listening it there this morning. Just reach out to me about the trailer. Yeah. And what's going to happen when you put your truck and trailer for sale is someone's going to ask you a ridiculously low rate. But you have to pay attention to market rates as well. So, I originally asked for 40 for my truck, and then I got no hits, and then I put it down to 30 and got a few hits, and I actually sold it for 28.5. And that's what I sold it for. The trailer, I was able to get 20 grand out of it, but it was a 2018. Tire was in good shape. It needed, the brakes were DOT legal, but I knew that they probably were going to have to be replaced that year. But other than that, it was a solid trailer, and I got 20 for it. I don't know if you're going to get what you're asking for. Thank you. If you watch hockey, who do you think will win the Stanley Cup this year? I don't watch hockey. The only sports that I'll actually look into every now and then is NFL or NASCAR. And even then, that's very rare because I don't have that kind of free time to sit there and watch a full-blown game. Like, I know football season's coming up. I'll watch. Here's what I do. If it's cold outside or snowy outside, we're kind of in the house, and nothing's going on, there's no projects to work on, then I'll put on a game. I like watching the playoffs because things get kind of intense, but other than that, it's I don't have any dogs in the fight. I don't bread and circuses, right? I try not to get caught up in that. I have a hockey jersey, but it was made for me from a firearms company. So, but fun fact, NASCAR is the only privately owned sport in the world. Yeah, you don't see NASCAR asking for taxpayers to help pay for a stadium. And I think that's why I've gotten less and less into the NFL because, well, number one, their political stance was way off during riot world. And they take funds from cities like you take any major inner city, if they would spend the amount of money that they use for these stadiums to clean up and put shelters in and programs in place to allow for rehabilitation, you'd probably have a little bit of a better city. And but see, these stadiums are revenue generators. They're revenue generators, and they're tax revenue generators. And you don't really see the benefits in the city. Like, look at Oakland, right? Oakland's one of the worst places in the country right now. Now, you know what the Raiders did? It's like, Oakland ain't going to fork up for a new stadium, so we'll just move to Vegas, right? Sucks to be you, Oakland, right? Meanwhile, LA's got like 2 teams, and look how bad LA is right now. It took me 11 years to grow a beard like you, loved it to pieces, but I got tired of the maintenance, so I shaved it all off. Then my wife was mad because you're, well, you should probably get a doctor to look at that part. Each NASCAR track is also privately owned, right? And yeah, man, my wife doesn't want me to shave my beard, so there's that. So, fun fact, Canada has the longest coastline in the world. That is a fun fact. It's too cold, though. You know. But, okay, so you metalheads in here, so you've heard of King Diamond, right? Did you know that he was originally from Denmark? Did you know that he moved to America because of NASCAR? And that's why he chose Fort Worth, Texas, because you got that Fort Worth track right there. He loves NASCAR. That's like his thing. Like, imagine King Diamond sitting there telling you about your grandma and singing about Satan and stuff, and like, but he's at the track, you know, with the t-shirts and the flag and all that. There's a fun fact for you. So, of course, you know, nobody recognizes him because he doesn't have his makeup on or anything. So there's that. I've never been to a NASCAR race. I would like to, CFH, but I think if there was one track I would want to go to, it would either be Daytona or Talladega. You know, Thomas Wilson, who might pop... Oh, there he is. Thomas Wilson has talked about, you know, the parties over at Talladega and how insane they are. And I think I would love to do that. I've been by the Talladega track many, many times. You know, you get on I-20 in Alabama and you see the big flags and all that. But dude, it's pricey, right? It's pricey. I had a friend of mine that he goes to Kansas City Chiefs games all the time, and the amount of money he spends on one trip outing with his family is insane. It's insane. And I'm not that passionate about it to spend that kind of money or time. So, good morning, Steve. I'm headed to Georgia versus Clemson game in downtown Atlanta. I hope all is well, sir. All is well. Be safe on your trip. I had a driver had to circle the entire loop in Atlanta yesterday, and he was kind of burned out by the end of the day. So, yes, NASCAR did. Okay, wait. Let's go back. Non says NASCAR died with Dale Earnhardt. I don't know about that. Last race I saw was Talladega back in '77. Wow. I tried climbing the fence to get Richard Petty's autograph. Yes, NASCAR did. I used to spend $10,000 to $12,000 a year going to races. Not anymore. Wow. I used to go to plenty of dirt track races until houses started popping up close to the track. Then they started complaining about the noise and shut it down. It's called the Talladega Garage Party, I believe. Yeah. I've been to, when I was a kid, we got free tickets to a dirt track race. And that was fun. That was fun to watch. It was literally, you had to kind of keep an eye on things because literally two trucks, a truck just drove by, 2 cars that were lapping everybody else. And they it was suspenseful. It was fun to watch because these two were going at it and basically like just ignoring the rest of the field. It was kind of funny. Talladega is Mardi Gras on steroids. I bet. I'm sure there's some good debauchery there, right? Fun fact: Johnny Gaudreau died yesterday by a drunk driver. I heard something about that. Am I right about the name of the pre-race events? Probably. But see, Mr. Wilson, he would do the RV thing. So I think if you're in the RV crew and I remember one time I got like a bunch of super chats because Thomas Wilson was heavily inebriated and I was playing guitar and he was playing me on some big screen and everybody was hooting and hollering. So, um, anyone heard anything on Mr. Executive? Are you talking about trucking exec? I believe he is out of prison and is not in trucking. So, I have a friend of a mutual friend of his. So, but I think Talladega. I like the like. This is kind of anti NASCAR. Like some NASCAR people would be like, "You're lame," but I like the restrictor plate races because it evens the field and it makes for more exciting racing than watching just two people lap everybody else because they got the best cars and the best budget. Um, I do like the short tracks, like the Bristols and what's the other short track? Um, I like those too. The road courses can be kind of interesting as well. Um, but, Darlington, Rockingham, Charlotte, Atlanta, and Talladega are all a short drive for me, and I've never been. Top Fuel drag racing, I think that'd be cool. When I was working at Bass Pro, Bass Pro was, back when they stopped naming the races after a location like the Atlanta 500 or whatever, the Bass Pro was doing the Atlanta 500. They were sponsors, and when I was a welder there, we had a package deal that we can get tickets to the race, both races, pit passes, a chartered flight there, directly from here, all for like, and it was like $130. It was like ridiculously low, and couldn't afford it back then. And and instead we got this commemorative Dale Earnhardt, folding knife, which I ended up selling on eBay. And whatever. Restrictor plate races show the quality of the driver. Yep. Tallahasea's all about titties and beer. Yeah, I know. Um, it's probably like Mardi Gras and Sturgis all wrapped up in one thing with a bunch of people with RVs and alcohol and more money than they can throw at people. So that does sound like a good time if you have the money. So I don't know how much fun I would have. So I'm not much of a drinker anymore. Luke would love to go to Italy. I would look. Here's if I had to go to Europe, this is what I would do. I would do the Viking River cruise. I have family members that have done that, and basically it's about like your Caribbean cruises and all that stuff. There's destinations that you go to, but they have all this fun stuff. Basically, you're eating and playing on playground and swimming pools, in a giant boat in the middle of the ocean. Whereas the Viking cruise, its purpose is to hit all the hot tourist spots in Europe. Like, so you're going to multiple countries. It's a smaller ship, so you're not inundated with like 5,000 people. Um, I think that would be. I've have. My mom's gone twice. My sister and brother-in-law, they've gone 2 or 3 times. One of the drivers that I dispatched, he went. And I think that would, like a sampler platter of Europe. I think that's what I would like to do. Um, I'm sipping on Crown Royal as we speak. It's party time. Georgia football, baby. 11 miles. We'll be at the stadium. Well, hopefully you're not driving. Yeah, it's Saturday, isn't it? So all the college football games. College football can be exciting, but I don't know anything about the teams. I'm not some kind of alumni. Um, the alumni in my local area, like the team here, is not like the team that gets televised or whatever. So they're not. I forget. There's different levels of college football, and during the winter I'll watch the bowl games like the Sugar Bowl and the Cotton Bowl and the Rose Bowl, that kind of thing. Oh yeah, Thomas, guess I'll be ordering tickets for the next race now. Thanks, dude. Buck Brown's going to Talladega. But I enjoy Talladega because it's pretty cool to watch cars go against each other at 200 miles an hour with inches to spare, and nobody can screw up or you're wiping out half the field. And that's kind of intense to watch that. That's kind of neat. Being at the track, you probably miss a little bit of that because you're seeing it from afar instead of on a TV screen where they got the cameras literally like on the ground and in the cars or whatever. So I would think that would be cool, right? So Alabama's the best. The double hockey sticks with the rest. OU and Longhorns are in SEC this year. Texaco done a promo tour with Davey Allison many years back. They just popped into Texaco distributors meeting people before my time, but old boss used to tell that story all the time. Have I been to Disneyland or World? I've been to Disney World. Yes. We made it a point, because here's the thing. I got into Disney World for free. We got free of the quick passes. And we got like basically a personal tour because I have family that works there. Not worked, but still works there. And so we made it a point to not take our kids when they're little. It's amazing to watch these families that take their like infants and 2 and 3 and 4-year-olds to Disney World. They're not going to remember. They're going to remember bits and pieces. They're going to remember how stressed out mommy and daddy were. They might remember that, but I went to Disneyland when I was like 2 or 3. I barely remember. I remember It's a Small World ride freaking me the hell out. That's all I remember. And so we made it a point that when we decided to go to Disney World that we would do it when our kids were going to be old enough to remember it. And that's what we did. I believe my son was 10 or 11 and my daughter was 7 or 8, somewhere around there. My wife will probably correct me after she watches this. So Sterling, good to see you. Good shows last night. Good show last night. Thank you. I enjoyed myself. It's really weird for me to sit in that office chair for that long because even at home when I'm working, I don't sit in it for more than an hour at a time. If I'm talking on the phone with somebody, I'll get up, I'll walk around the backyard, or the front yard or whatever, but I don't sit in that chair for hours on end. Like if I had to do that, I would probably get one of them high dollar shack chairs that are meant for heavy ass dudes like me and are comfortable, like executive chairs that are like in the hundreds of dollars, but I don't have money like that. So, but it was look, for those of you, go to Sterling Wheels channel and look. It's a 3-hour live feed, so if you're bored today and you want something to listen to, there you go. we talked about quite a few deep things. It wasn't, just goofiness and me talking about carnivore crap. We got in some really deep discussions about handling stress, handling depression in general, and as truck drivers. So, it's a great live feed, and I believe it's also on my channel. But I'd rather give Sterling that watch time. Give it to him. So, but I went live. I did one of them. It's funny, Sterling. Sterling probably saw Red Chicken come in like real quick, because what I did was I left the feed, and then I had my feed off the OG channel on one of my phones going. So when I left, I turned the computer off. And then I saw that I was still live on my channel. I was like, oh crap, I need to end this so I'm not like one of these guys that is live for 6 hours, but it's blank screen, right? So I got on my phone and clicked on your link, but my phone was still set to Red Chicken from our Red Chicken versus Blue Chicken debate. And so I didn't go back to see what you guys said about that, but and then I couldn't figure out how to log out there, so I turned the computer back on, got back on StreamYard, and that's when you guys talked to me, and then that's when you said, well, it won't end until we stop. So I don't know how much longer you guys went after I got out of there. So, but it was fun. It was a good time. I need to get one of those drum pedals, and it looks like I'm going to have to order one because nobody around here has it. And I think it'll make for some interesting live feeds. So, and then tomorrow I'll get this small amp back. I'm going to work on a few things with the music stuff this weekend and see what I can't do. So, can or can't do. I didn't see the chickens last night. I asked about them, but we didn't need their shenanigans in that deep conversation last night, right? Well, at the very end, CFH, at the very end, Sterling and Crystal showed off the chickens. Sean checking in Jonesville, South Carolina. How's the Big Orange treating you, man? We've been getting negative reports from people that were over there and are now over here. So I kind of wonder how much is that the driver, or how much their program is really kind of falling apart. How goes it over there? But yeah, the chicken thing, people are probably wondering why truck drivers and ex-truck drivers are obsessed in rubber chickens. And and I don't even know what sparked me to start doing the red chicken videos, which I still need to transfer the red chicken videos over to his channel that I did in the old days when I was in the semi. It's just something stupid I popped up and did, and that I think that was back when a lot of the trucking YouTubers were doing all the drama stuff, and they were attacking each other, and they were being very hateful, and you guys remember that the comic strip Garfield? I'm sure you do, but I have some really old Garfield books that I got like when I was in middle school and younger. And in one of them, every now and then they'd read, Garfield had a rubber chicken that he used to like beat the dog with and beat John with, and he just it just created these situations that. And I thought, well, what if I can, I saw one of them little tiny rubber chickens at the Petro, and I thought, well, I'll just do that. And I picked the red one because I like red, and it just spiraled from there. I don't recommend the place if you have kids and bills. Well, it pretty much eliminates most people, because you either got kids or bills or both, right? But I'm glad you're doing okay over there. I hope you're doing okay over there. But yeah, so and then I got sent the big huge red chicken. And I've kind of had a little bit of fun with that. So I'm leaning more towards the Moor because I like the controls on that one a little bit better, and I like the beats on that one a little bit better. I still need to look for a Beat Buddy used. If I can find one used for $100 and then get the other one for $100, I might get them both and then sell one or the other. Red Chunkin. Red Chunkin. Remember when you were kind of feeling down, Sterling, and you wanted a red chicken live? So I did the red chicken live, and then I also did like 14. I literally did a total of like 14 or 15 shorts, and some of them did okay on the comments. Let's see who. Oh, no. On the views. It's a stupid thing. Like, people that don't know, they don't know, right? But I mean, look, if a guy can put a horse head mask and play the drums on a set of buckets in his tub and get millions of views, why can't Red Chicken get 100 views, right? What is my most watched video on this channel? Okay, so let's look. On the OG channel, that's easy. I believe it is. Electronic logbook system that I made 14 years ago. That is way outdated. And then the second highest view, that had 69,000 views. The second one after it is the JX Tactical Fat Man holster 2-month review. That one had 12,000 views. And then the JX Tactical Fat Man unboxing has 10,000 views. Check my Cash App. I gotta open my email here. No way. Why'd you do that? You can't be doing that. I thought things were kind of tight, man, dude. Thank you. Well, I guess I'm going to get the Moor pedal. So, thank you. Thank you very much, Sterling. So, the cool thing about the Moor pedal is, I guess when I get home, I'll order that. Is I will do some live feeds with it. I'll try to program a couple of things in there, and I'll do a couple of live feeds so you guys just don't see me noodling, random riffs. I'll put some structured stuff together. Thank you, Sterling. I appreciate that. Thank you. You're gonna make me cry. Texas says hi. But Lance, those are the most watched videos. Then the discrete carry concepts monoblock gear clips. That one's at 9,600 views. And then an old one from 15 years ago, Nashville traffic jam and accident, 6,500 views. And it's literally a dash cam while I'm in stop and go traffic in Nashville. Like, that's original, right? But for some reason, that one hit it big. I-35, bad accident in a bad place. That one's actually, I need to make that into a short. Because it's only 58 seconds, but it's got 2,700 views. And then Montana trucking, that's got 1,900 views. My Shell Rotella Branson video has got 1,800 views. My new Kenworth 1,600 views that I made 13 years ago. But yeah, the old electronic log video, and then 2 holster videos. So I'm wearing that. I'm not wearing the Fat Man holster right now. I'm wearing the one that the Discreet Carry Concepts monoblock gear clips is on. I'm wearing that one right now. So, but temps are starting to drop, so this cold front's moving through. I'm surprised we're not storming. So, but thank you, Sterling. I can't thank you enough. So when I get home, we'll order that. So, have you had any videos with 100,000 views on the other channel? Yes. Most viewed. Use Your CB Radios has 139,000 views. It's had 1,200 thumbs up and 320 comments. And then Cooking in the Truck has 54,000 views. And then Schneider National New Rules for Sign-On, 7 years ago, 37,000 views. Truck Wash Buyer Beware, 16,000 views. I actually got in trouble for that one. So what I did is I got on Google and I found a random image of a truck wash and used that for the thumbnail. And I got an email from somebody saying, hey, this is our truck wash. If we didn't do that damage, can you please change that thumbnail? And so I did. And so I've never had any problems since. My Cooking in the Truck videos did pretty good. And then Why I Failed at Landstar's got 13,000 views. But no, my CB radio, it's the first video on my channel. Landstar and Schneider are great tags. And then my Guilty by Association truck show in 2017 got 6,400 views. But of course that one's got a copyright claim on it because somebody was playing the song Convoy, or no, Smoking the Bandit, one or the other, out loud, and it picked it up. And then my Power Only experiment. So there's what I looked like when I was 100 pounds heavier and no beard. See why I keep a beard? Because I'm ugly. Look at that. So, Water Pump Song and Metal TQL Hold Music. It's better than Rick Astley, right? So, now the Water Pump Song's going to come out a little bit different with the drum beat behind it, because the way I've been playing it, the tempo changes, and that pedal, I can't really change the tempo per se. So it's going to feel like a little bit more progressing forward versus drag, and then it gets heavier. So, but yeah, Lance, that's send that. Chief Ray Holler says, send that cold front to the southeast, please. It's coming. It's going. It's heading that way. It seems strange nobody much uses the CBs anymore. That would be the most watched video. Well, number one, it's my oldest video. And number two, a lot of the old hands that used to run with their CB radio like I did, it probably pops up in their feeds. And there's more people that use the CB radio than you think. I mean, just go into New Jersey and you pretty much have to turn the radio off. It's so full of just dumb stuff. New Jersey is the only place where I've actually shut my CB radio completely off. Other than that, even Memphis, I would have it on. I would have it, if I went through Memphis, I would kind of get it to a low rumble. That way I didn't have to hear the drug dealer or the Channel 5 CB shop. And then the truck wash in Ringgold, Georgia. They were kind of annoying, but I still kept the radio on. And the CB radio has saved me more times than the GPS, the Atlas, and the cell phone. Now, the reason why it's my oldest video is I actually have older videos that I permanently deleted that were my Landstar videos. I took them all down because of a troll, and that's when I learned that I needed to have thicker skin, and somebody talked me out of it before I got rid of that CB radio video. So my channel, the big channel, is actually older. I think I started it in 2014. So this one that we're on, I started 15 years ago, before I was driving. Most CB shops sell drugs. Wouldn't surprise me. It's funny when you talk to one CB shop and you tell them where you got your radio down. They're like, "Oh, they're a butcher shop. All they do is butcher radios there." They all say that about each other. There's not one time that I've gone, "Well, my radio was worked on this in this shop." "Oh, that was a good shop. You did good there." No, they all say they butchered your radio. Let me butcher yours now. So the problem with modern trucks and CB radios is that the stock wire that they put in for the trucks aren't grounded properly, or they can't take a big signal. Now, you people with Freightliners are able to bypass that and mount it on the mirror, but I had a Peterbilt 387, and dude, my CB radio did not like that. I burned a good Connex up because of that. Because I didn't have things properly grounded, and there was nowhere to mount the new antenna, right? The driver chooses the radio, but the truck chooses the antenna. And that was something that always stuck with me. But like, I'm at home, I'm sitting on like probably 10 CB antennas of various types. When I sold the truck, I put the stock ones back on it, and I took the good ones down. And then like Freightliner and International, well, no, Freightliner has, the roofs that are supposedly CB radios, but you're not hooking up a 100-watt Connex to those. And then these mega carriers, they encourage you to not use the CB radio. They encourage you to keep it turned off. They don't want you distracted by it. And so, as Sterling pointed out about his company, if you take your hand off the steering wheel, that's a point, right? If you got driver facing camera. So if you do this, but check this out. I carry a CB in this pickup. I need to remount my antenna, which I got a new toolbox. Not new, but I got a truck toolbox now, and I'm going to mount it to that. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a sad deal. I bet you would have made a lot of money over the years off those Landstar videos. Yes and no. That's one of the true regrets I have in my YouTube world is, like, I can't stand watching myself. Like, I don't know how you guys do it, and that's a weird thing with me. And I would have been curious to watch one of my old videos to see how I was talking about freight and how I was handling Landstar. But the name Landstar Life, that was the name of the vlog. It actually got me a lot of hits because at that time, not a whole lot of people were doing videos about Landstar. There was one person out of Ozark, Missouri. I forget his name. And then there was the heavy haul guy, Surge, which he ended up getting fired because of one of his videos. And then I think there was one other person, but they didn't last long. Yeah, he was... and he actually got in a little YouTube war with me, that third guy. Because I told the reefer team not to come to Landstar because we didn't have a whole lot of freight. And he was like, "How dare you tell someone not to do something with a blanket statement, blah, blah." I'm like, "Really, dude?" But we talked on the phone and we hashed it out, and we later talked to each other a lot, and I think we connected on Periscope. Periscope was the first live streaming platform I was on. Because it's before you can go live on YouTube, and it was through Twitter, and Periscope was pretty fun, but you could see who came in, right? There's 10 people in here, but there's probably only 5 commenting. You would see who was all watching, right? So you couldn't like troll and lurk in the background with Periscope. But anyways, he ended up leaving Landstar, running for a day cab company, running for a guy that had day cabs over at Sierra England, running LA port freight, and I haven't heard from him since. It would have been interesting to see how I was talking about freight back then, and all the I would have seen the growth that I've had, and also I would have seen the 380-pound fat Snorelord too. Hess Fuels would not allow CBs in their trucks. That's interesting. Many years ago. The problem with the entire trucking industry is a wage issue. I just random gunfire instead of the CB. That's funny. Crafty Trucker used to be at Landstar. Yeah, and I was before him. Like, so now, so yeah, here's the thing. I probably would be getting a lot of hits on those videos because I did a Landstar video recently last year, and that one's got a lot of views. But the criticisms would have been harsh. Like, I could take it, because I was being kind of a dumbass back then. But for the most part, yeah, I wish I wouldn't have deleted them. So, if those of you who have a YouTube channel, you got to have thick skin out here because not everybody's going to like you, They're going to make fun of your beard, or they're going to make fun of your weight, or they're going to make fun of your truck, or they're going to tell you that you're doing everything wrong. But, the YouTube allowed me some, if it wasn't for YouTube, Jeffrey Like wouldn't have never reached out to me. There was a heavy haul guy at Landstar that reached out to me to help me. That was when I realized the importance of the YouTube community in helping all of us succeed. And you can't look, community is the way we defeat the mass. Like, community is the way that we become better. Community is the way that we fight depression. Community is the way that we accomplish our goals. It takes a village, kind of a deal. And you got to have community. So, and that's what YouTube allowed me, but then once live stream started, people realized that you can create a lot of angst and anger through live feeds and play with people's emotions. And then that's when the trolling came out, and and all the YouTube truckers turned on each other. They absolutely just destroyed each other, and then shake hands and become friends at truck shows a little bit later. YouTube, the YouTube trucker, old school YouTube trucker community was an odd place. Now, a lot of those guys aren't really even doing a whole lot of videos. Ike Stevens still does, but it's a completely different entity now, and my channel's different now. I do the podcast thing 3 days a week, and so, and there's a lot more competition. As I said earlier in this feed, there's 4 billion YouTube videos out there, and in the world of truckers, we're a tiny, tiny, tiny speck on the big basketball, right? That's what we are. So, but and a lot of these companies are frowning on YouTube videos now. They, like Swift, they don't want YouTubers. They don't even want you having your own dash cam. We have a social media policy in place, and social media can literally destroy a company if you're not careful with it. So I've watched YouTube channels lose their jobs over their videos. Like Truck for Life, he did a video. He put up a short yesterday saying that his company made him take his last video down. And when you're like filming flatbed freight, not only are you revealing what you're hauling, but you're also revealing how you're securing things. That's how that Surge guy got fired. And it's also admissible in court if you have, like, if you got steel coils that leave the trailer and crush a family. They're going to go back to that video and like, look, man, he chained this up wrong and that kind of thing. So, you got to be careful with that. You don't want to sit there and also get on YouTube like, oh, I've got these load of electronics, delivers Monday in Memphis, and I don't know where I'm going to park, but I got to figure it out, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, dude, what are you doing? Right? So 37 million videos are uploaded to YouTube every day. And we're all trying to get a piece of that, right? So I had a 3-hour inspection the other day, southwest of Kansas City. I bet you know that skill well. Did not turn out well. Ah, good old Harrisonville. Harrisonville. Yep. Harrisonville. Ooh, 5 hazardous violations. Wow. That must have hurt. So, but anyways, guys, I just had a driver try to call me. So, at any rate, I got to go. Thanks for watching, man. So, enjoy yourselves. Don't eat the pet food. All right. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back into the thing. So Sterling, he didn't tie a load down correctly, or I think he might have been doing a road check off the shoulder, and that's a no-no at Landstar. So with that being said, thanks for watching. Peace. Strength for today, over tomorrow.